Welcome back. Today I'm gonna tell you about the synopsis of Big Mouth, episode 9. Episode 9 of Big Mouth jumps back into the court case going on against the three VIPs. Meanwhile, Chang Ho appears on the news mental social media channel and begins to make predictions about the case. Miho poses as a commenter and gives them updates on what's going to happen in court. Chang Ho correctly predicts that prosecution evidence against the VIPs, which includes the late Professor So's DNA and blood that was found on their bodies. But the defendants cleverly wormed their way out of it with a video taken in public of the three trying, pretending to resuscitate Professor So. As more people start watching the video, Gong Ti-yun find out and tell his people to track the IP address, but they are unable to. When the court takes a recess, the mayor asks Miho what's going on. In a different room, Ji-hoon and the VIPs are seated with the prosecutor, Jae. They realize Chang Ho knows all of this because they gave him the trial strategy when he was first hired as their lawyer. Ji-hoon then gets a call from Hyejin, who demands to force paper in exchange for Professor So's paper. Ji-hoon agrees to spy Han Jae-ho's task. He meets Hyejin in cafe and asks her for Big Mouth's location. She gives it up and Ji-hoon sends the police there. The two then exchange the divorce paper and data card. Meanwhile, the police find only a TV playing Chang Ho's video at the location. In court, as predicted by Chang Ho, the VIPs are found not guilty due to insufficient evidence. Chang Ho then reveals that the real motive was the academic paper written by Professor So. Outside the court, the VIP's relief is short-lived. A truck rolls up with a large scene on its side, displaying the video with Chang Ho. It then switches to a hidden camera in the cafe, where Ji-hoon is angry at Hyejin for giving him the wrong research paper. As he runs at her, he admits that the VIPs killed Professor So. The back of the truck slowly opens to reveal none other than Chang Ho himself. At the cafe, Ji-hoon begins to drag Hyejin out, but Mayor Choi arrives and warns him about reporters being on the way. Ji-hoon crosses paths with the reporters but is confident that none of this can actually touch him. Miho arrives and thanks Hyejin for keeping her promise. The latter then heads off to the airport to start a life in the US. Chang Ho faces the reporters outside the court and tells them he was abducted from the mental hospital by Ji-hoon and prosecutor Choi. He says that he will bring proof that he's not Big Mouth to his trial. He shares a sweet moment with his family before officers arrive to take him back to prison. Just before he leaves, Sunta tells him that Jerry is alive. Chang Ho sends a short letter with Suntae, who puts it under Jerry's pillow, but someone with a tattoo of Big Mouth symbol takes the paper away. Chang Ho arrives back at the prison. His voiceover reveals that his focus is now on getting Big Mouth. In the hospital, someone gives Jerry a small piece of paper. Jerry reads it and tears it up. Chang Ho is seated with some inmates when the room leader tells him about a ghostly disease spreading through the prison. People seem to cough up blood and later go berserk and become violent, leading to the medical staff leaving. Chairman Yang says that it happened once, years ago, but they suddenly got cured. It also seemed to happen only to murdered inmates. Ji-hoon visits Chang Ho and tries to get him to invest 100 billion won into a real estate development project as a way of paying him back. Chang Ho laughs in his face and tells him to book a room at the prison. When Chang Ho insinuates that Ji-hoon was also behind So's death, Ji-hoon states that he wasn't the person the VIP spoke to on the phone. Mayor Choi and his wife go swimming again. Jui asks him to not get too involved in the case of Professor So's death. He says he is doing it only for the elder. The three VIPs visit the elder to ask for help but end up making him angry. Mayor Choi arrives and gives the elder Professor So's secret paper along with the original file. The elder is highly impressed. The VIPs, who have been told to confess, then argue with Choi Do-ha They say he was also an accomplice. A flashback to the day of the crime shows that the phone call made by the VIP was, in fact, to Mayor Trey. Not only did the mayor agree to help then, but he then ordered one of his men to cause the accident that got the three men caught. Later, Mayor Chue was also the one who destroyed the dashcam footage. Mayor Chue reminds the three of them that there is no evidence of his involvement. We switch to a scene with the elder burning sauce paper in a bonfire. Jui arrives and they talk about the time when the elder was against her marrying Chue Duha. Now, he hints that Duha has his approval. We then see someone unlock the storage area with the gold bars. This is the same person that initially hit them in the ground in the first episode. The camera moves to reveal that this person is Mayor Chue, and he doesn't just have the gold bars. He also has a copy of Professor So's paper. What a turn of events! Another flashback shows us a conversation between Mayor Chue and Hyejin. Before Miho had gotten involved, Chue claims that Hyejin will die if she remains in possession of So's paper. With the promise of a new life in New York, Chue gets her to hand over the real data card with So's paper. Back at the prison, Jang-ho goes to the church and puts a message in the Bible. He wants Big Mouse to be here by 8 p.m. or Jang-ho will stop helping him. At Kuchon University Hospital, Miho sees that all the patients on one floor seems to have been discharged. She also noticed a blood report of an inmate from Kuchon Penitentiary. Before she can check further, she is called in the director's office. Juhee has found out about the blood analysis Miho requested. The report seems to be normal, but Juhee tells Miho to resign or the hospital will report her. Miho meets Mayor Chue and tells him about it. He says he will speak to Juhee, but Miho says she has already resigned. He inquires if Hyejin said not anything about So's paper, to which Miho replies in the negative, but we know he's only pretending. Someone enters the church and sees Jang-ho's message. Due to a lack of medical staff, the nurses from the hospital are back at the prison handing out vitamins. For some reason, the room leader seems to desperately want them. One of the inmates then suddenly coughs up blood, as Jang-ho and the others looks on. In the Bible, Jang-ho finds the justice shirt card. It is 10 minutes to 8 p.m. and Jang-ho waits. Miho goes to visit Jerry in the hospital but finds his bed empty. Someone we can't see who walks up behind Jang-ho. Jang-ho gets up and turns around, his eyes widen, and the episode comes to a close. So, that's all for today. See you in the next video. Bye!